Well, it's been more than 6 months since the final report into the Banking Royal Commission was handed down. Today, the government will outline its plan to implement most of the 76 recommendations. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg is in Melbourne this morning and joins us now. Treasurer, good morning to you. A lot of people saying, why has it taken this long to act on the recommendations handed down back in February?
Well, we've actually implemented 15 of the government's commitments in response to the Royal Commission, but as you know, there are many more still to implement, and so we've set out a very ambitious timetable. This is the most comprehensive set of reforms to the financial sector in 3 decades, and we will be implementing them in record time. And Koch, you may remember when the Future of Financial Advice reforms were implemented a few years ago, it was nearly 2 years between the receipt of the committee's report and actual legislation, whereas we have already passed legislation and we have more to pass in the coming months.
Yeah, of all these recommendations you're going to implement, for you, what are a couple of the most significant ones?
Well, obviously getting our regulators to be better performing and to holding those who breach the law into account, because Commissioner Hayne had said that most of the offences and the misconduct that he identified was actually in breach of existing law. So that's one part of it. A second is in terms of insurance, ensuring that that the public don't face unfair contract terms. I think that's important. A best interest duty for mortgage brokers will also be important, and we'll be introducing that legislation before the end of this year, because around 60% of mortgages are written by mortgage brokers, and they play a critical part in our economy and in our community, and we want obviously for them to be acting in the best interests of their customers. Yeah,
speaking of those regulators, ASIC has come out today and saying it's in the final throes of actually drawing up charges against the big six, the big four banks, and you add on AMP and Macquarie as a result. So the regulators seem to really have them in their sights and going to do something about it.
Well, Commissioner Hayne did make 20 referrals to the regulators involving 14 different entities, and the regulators are working through those cases as well as bringing other cases forward. This is very important because those who break the law should be held to account, and in doing so we can help restore the trust and the confidence of the Australian people in the financial services sector, bearing in mind that the financial services sector is the single largest sector in the Australian economy. More than 15 million Australians have a superannuation account, more than 3 million Australian households have a mortgage, and millions of Australians see a financial advisor every year.
Yep, absolutely. Well, it's great to see you're adopting most of those recommendations. Appreciate your time. Here's Sam.